Hello, all. So, got a new story today. Let's see what is going on. It says here a black actor was denied a wig for a major Broadway tour. She's now suing for racial discrimination. Did everybody else get provided a wig and not you, ma'am? I just I don't get how she got to the grounds of racial discrimination. Out of town on Broadway and on the road, the recent revival of 1776 was strategically cast in a non-traditional manner. They opened themselves up to it. 1776, unless she picking cotton, she shouldn't be in the cast with actors of diverse gender identities. So they were casting women as men and black people as white people. And racial backgrounds portraying the historically white and male founding fathers as they finalized the Declaration of Independence. That's a weird show. That's a hold up weird show. What's the point of it? Like, is it supposed to be patriarchal? Patri I'm saying the word wrong. I don't care. It doesn't make sense. Are they trying to make some sort of statement about the founding of the putting history in the hands of the humans who were left out the first time around? Okay, so that's what they were doing. They're doing something dumb. I should have known. But a complaint filed earlier this week by actor Zuri Washington, well, at least she's related to George Washington, very historic, alleges a racial discrimination and retaliation on the show's national tour. Washington hopes the complaint, which recounts producers' dismissal of Washington's hair preferences. So she didn't want to wear her own Negro hair for the historical show. She wanted to wear a wig. I hope it was powdered. And alleges she was terminated after expressing an intent to submit a formal report of discrimination. Yeah, I would fire you too. You threatened me. The hell? Reignites? What the hell does that mean? Reignites? Reignite. Okay. Reignites conversations about the industry's inequitable treatment of black hair that didn't treat her hair right. The hairdressers should be in trouble for that. And the harmful perpetuation of the angry black woman stereotype. She was angry. No one was perpetuating a stereotype. She brought this up. She made it a whole story. No one else did that to her. No one was trying to destroy her reputation. They just didn't want to give her the wig that she was asking for. She thought she could get preferential treatment, and they were like, nah. And then she was like, well, I'm gonna file a report for discrimination. They're like, oh, well, you're fired. Like, what? I was made to feel like, oh my God, she's gonna play victim now. I was made to feel like I did something wrong in the course of this entire experience. Yes, you did. You threatened your employer. And I know I didn't do anything wrong. Listen, ma'am, if they're in charge of the show and they want the show a certain way and they wanted you in the wig, they would do that. You don't get to just make demands of people. You're an actor. Like, that doesn't make sense. What made you think you were in charge of the costuming and how the characters were going to look? You overstepped. You did something wrong. Washington tells the Times, I could have done things differently, perhaps, 100%, but what they did to me is like a legal version of tone policing. Tone policing is legal. It's very legal. And like I'm being constantly punished for existing and telling my truth. Constantly punished? How many times did this happen? Washington filed a complaint against the tour's production companies, Networks. I see what they did there. presentations, and 1776 touring, and several of their employees that what did the employees do? Oh, they probably denied her and she went through a bunch of different people yelling at them to get the wig. This woman. Just get yourself some classical weaves and you'll be fine. The tour's production companies did not respond to the Times' request for comment. According to the lawsuit, Washington, upon getting cast as Robert Livingston, oh my God. Okay. In December 2022, reached out to the tour's management to finalize a hair plan. Sweetheart, you're playing a man, you're not a man, and the man is white and you're not that either. What are you talking? Why is the hair your priority? You already being, you're not matching the character in any way. Why is hair a priority? A collaborative decision that prioritizes a production's design preferences as well as a performance practical needs during consultations with the tour's associate hair designer. Washington said she expressed her discomfort with wearing her natural hair on stage, perpetuating stereotypes right there. Black women don't like to wear their natural hair because they're goddamn insecure. Way to go. Just brings back memories. I was just like, when my mom was trying to like straighten my sister's hair, and I was like, why the hell are you doing all that? Like, you don't understand black women's hair. I stop doing that dumb shit. Spend hours like freaking picking out her hair, and she's just like, ow, ow. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you doing any of this? Oh my God. Washington said she expressed her discomfort with wearing her natural hair on stage, as well as her desire to wear a wig, or at the very least, to install a braided protective style. Why doesn't she already have those things? Because it sounds like a personal problem. It has nothing to do with the character. It's a personal problem. She should have taken care of that herself. They have no obligation to provide it for her. She should already have those things. I love my natural hair. No, you don't. But producers don't realize what wearing my natural hair for 8 shows a week entails. What does it entail? It should be natural, right? She says, citing the lengthy amount of time and numerous products needed to properly maintain for proper maintenance, then it's not natural, especially amid the variety of climates they'd be exposed to while on tour. Why don't you already have the things necessary to maintain your natural hair since you love it so much? You weirdo. Washington learned this the hard way while previously touring Hairspray. The changes in altitude, temperature, and humidity wreak havoc on her locks. Oh my God. I was devastated. My hair almost fell out of my head. How the fuck? Your natural hair almost fell out because the humidity changed? How you expect people to believe anything you're saying when you tell such a bold-faced, weird-haired lie? I had to cut it to my ears. Sounds like you just got lazy and you figured you might as well cut it and wear a wig instead of having to do any kind of maintenance. I promised myself never again. Why didn't you inform the people, put it in your writer or whatever you give to the production, do that beforehand so then they can look at it and be like, nope, you're not getting hired. So what you did is you try to trick them. You got hired first and then you try to make your demands. That's why they fired you. You're a fraud. Never again would I live the faith of Would I leave the fate of my hair, something that's so close to me and that I care about so much, up to other people? And given the ethos of the production, I was hoping I would feel secure and supported by the team behind the scenes. Yeah, they were kind of billing themselves as very woke. You'd think they would bend over backwards to give you what you want. But nope, it costs money. The complaint outlines that after multiple emails to various members of the tour's creative team, Washington was told to wear a protective style, specifically a two-strand spring twist. But these instructions didn't specify whether the style was to fit under a wig or to wear on stage. When she asked for clarity on the matter, her emails went unanswered. Lady, these people don't know anything about your hair. They don't know what to do with it. So when you send them that email, who was supposed to answer you? The people that don't know got the email and they were like, I don't know what the hell she expected me to say. According to the suit, Washington wasn't informed about her onstage hair design until she arrived at the tour's first stop in Utica, New York in February 2023. Obviously, because they have to address it then. They were busy with other things. They can't be like micromanaging you. Though multiple white actors in the cast were provided with wigs, you could have gotten one of their wigs. The reason they probably didn't have a wig for you, ma'am, is because they didn't have wigs for your character that you're playing. Because you don't look like the character in any way, shape, or form, gender or genitalia. And they were just doing random stuff, and they didn't have a wig for that. They didn't have a wig for that. If you don't look like the character at all, why would they need a wig for that? It didn't make sense to them, and they didn't do it. Including someone Washington says didn't even request one because their characters had wigs. The white actors had wigs because they probably looked like the characters they were playing. Washington's request for a wig, as well as those by the cast, other actors of color had been denied. You could have gotten one of the white wigs because you're playing race swap characters anyways. Washington was then presented with an image of a specific protective style the production team preferred her to wear, reads the complaint. Since there were no appointment openings at the nearby hair salons, they didn't think about your hair because they don't know how your hair goes. You would know that. And then when you force them to have to deal with it, they just like came up with something on the spot. And then you're like, well, there's no hair places open. They're like, they can't just tell you, well, then you can't play the character. I don't know what you want us to do. They can't just tell you that because they're woken it up and they can't, So they try to work with you, try to give you something. And they were like, all right, just wear your natural hair. You didn't like that either. I don't know what to tell you. You're fired. The team offered to book the next tour stop and requested she wear her natural hair during the performances. In the meantime, reasonable compromise. What did this insane woman do? Though she felt pressured to do so by the production, Washington didn't want to wear her natural hair on stage, so her hair was instead styled by the tour's assistant choreographer into Marley twists, a style that's arguably an easier one to do because it doesn't need shaping. So they did help her. According to the suit, the process lasted until 3 a.m. Oh, God. Amid tech rehearsals and during a meal break, the complaint also notes that another Black cast member had similar frustrations about their hair plan. Was it also a woman with long hair and doesn't want to wear her natural hair? Had the production team informed her of their decision for her hair plan earlier, I could have easily gotten it done when I was in New York. They are braiding places everywhere, says Washington, a Bronx native who is a daughter of a hairstylist. I could have bought products way in advance. I would have had showed up with my full arsenal, but they waited until the last minute to give me an answer. See, stuff like this is why silent discrimination of women is going to come back into effect in the workplace, because like it was a production that had roles for only men, and they made it so that they can include women to play those roles, and then problems, complaints, lawsuits. At the time of this 1776 tour, the contract governing touring productions held between actors, equity is signed. Hmm. So is the production company called Equity Assignments or whatever the hell that ASN is? The national union representing more than 51,000 professional actors and stage managers working in live theater. The Broadway League, the National Trade Association for the Broadway industry, only addressed the topic of her hair in regard to changing one's hair color or length for the duration of a role. Yeah. So they expected her to wear natural hair the whole time. She created a problem. They tried to solve it and compromise with her, but it didn't work out in her favor. She didn't like it. A new touring agreement ratified in May 2023 specifically addresses hair texture as part of diversity, equity, and inclusion standards, an addition made based on the historic New Deal for Broadway. They're really leading into this founding fathers thing. The comprehensive industry-wide agreement led by nonprofit advocacy organization Black Theater United. We will not discriminate against anyone due to hair texture and will ensure all hair needs are addressed with respect and care, reads a new deal signed by theater leaders in 2021. Man, just reading this, I can only imagine the kind of issues that Tyler Perry had to deal with, because he has all black cast and most of the lead roles is women. So, woo. If the show genuinely requires hair of a certain texture that doesn't match the actor's natural hair, we, the director, commit to speaking with the actor and hair and costume designer earlier in the casting process. Yeah, they didn't anticipate this problem. To outline our vision for the character and gauge the actor's comfort level with alterations to their natural hair. Wow. I don't know. Race discrimination at absolutely no. Okay, I get it. I get it. You guys got to cover your bases. But yeah, this is ridiculous. This is dumb. I don't understand how she thinks she's gonna win anything. Um, and why did Broadway even do that in the first place? They just put themselves up. They set themselves up. And anyways, until next time.